Hi, everyone. My name is Aliza Panjwani. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the Princess Margaret Cancer Centre in Toronto, Ontario. I am not actually here, but I thought I'd keep the spirit alive by showing you what one of the entrances to the medical center looks like. So I was part of the health psych track, and I was coming from New York City, where I completed my PhD in health psychology and clinical science at the Graduate Center, City University of New York. So, of course, my experiences will focus more on the health psychology stream. I had a lot of wonderful experiences on internship. And so I'm going to try to focus on a few specific things that I appreciated. Uh, for one, I thought all the supervisors across my rotations were very supportive of my training goals and also my interests. So a few examples of that on the women's health rotation. I was really interested in trauma and trauma counseling. And so I had the opportunity to do CBC cognitive processing therapy with one of my patients, and Dr. Carpenter supervised me on that. I enjoyed that experience so much that I since sought additional training, and I am now able to offer evidence-based trauma counseling on fellowship, which has been really nice. Similarly, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, had some experience on it in graduate school, and so I wanted to seek more. And I had the opportunity to take an elective with Dr. Rampala. It was a group CBTI, and that was a wonderful training experience. And again, I find myself using that on fellowship in developing a virtual CBTI group for cancer survivors and their caregivers. In Dr. Carmen's behavioral cardiology track, I was really interested in the end of life and palliative phase. And so she connected me with the palliative team, whom I got to shadow, learn a lot. I learned a lot from them. And then it also felt like when I ran into those people in the hallway, we could exchange thoughts on a mutual patient. And it was such an interdisciplinary feel through that whole rotation, which I really, really appreciated. So, as you can see across the board, supervisors want you to gain as much as you can on internship. And I think that's a definite strength of this program. Secondly, I had a lot of racial and ethnic diversity coming in to this internship. So, not that you don't get that at Ohio State, but I already had a lot of that coming from New York. What I had less of that I felt I got to expand on internship was seeing more patients from rural areas and seeing a range of socioeconomic status, which a lot of the patients I saw in New York City during my doctoral program, they were very therapy savvy. I didn't necessarily find that to be a common trend at Ohio State. And so it was really helpful, for example, on Dr. Kuhn's transplant rotation, to see how she worded certain psychodiagnostic questions to be able to get to the heart of the matter, so that the patient understands what you're asking without using jargon. And so I certainly continue to emulate some of what I learned from her on that rotation on fellowship. In addition, this internship program has something called the mentorship program. And they encourage you to pick a mentor that is not a direct supervisor for you on any of your rotations. And that space is basically your space. I used it to talk about both challenges and successes on across rotations. I felt very safe in doing so. I also used it as time for professional development, where I sought advice. My biggest thing was balancing personal and career goals, and I felt I received invaluable perspectives. I mean, from all my supervisors, but in more in depth with my mentor that I had. And so I really appreciate this mentorship program. I'm surprised that all internships offer it, because it's so helpful and so invaluable. So that's another big strength of this program. thirdly, or fourthly, can't remember now, I want to make a plug for Columbus. So I'm not from the States, and my only kind of exposure to the States has been New York City. So I really didn't know what to expect from Columbus. And I was really, really happy with, like, the city is amazing. There's a lot of good food. Definitely go to Jenny's for dessert if you get a chance, for ice cream. There are a lot of young professionals. Uh, Ohio State, obviously being Ohio State, there's a lot of pride. You're going to meet a lot of people on different rotations, even outside of the internship. You might get to know some of the residents, and that can be really, really fun. I think it's a vibrant atmosphere with a lot of professionals from various medical backgrounds, and it's always great to be, in an environment like that. So anyway, that's my spiel. I hope and wish you all the best of luck. I hope that you end up in all the right places in terms of internship placements, and yeah, take care and good luck.